I launched my startup with zero budget. No big team, no investors, just an idea and a laptop. Hey everyone, it's your man Rafael again. If you're new to the channel, I'm Rafael, and in this channel I post videos related to startups, entrepreneur journey and tech related stuff. So if you're into those kinds of stuff, make sure to subscribe the channel and also share this video to reach more people. 1 month ago I launched this startup which is called Interestly. It's a social media platform which connects people with shared interests using random video chat. Let's say you're interested in business, you go to the business section and you're gonna get matched with a random individual that shares the same interest with you. I launched this startup all by myself. I don't have any investors and also I don't have a team. Now the project has contributors which contribute for the project, but earlier the platform doesn't have those contributors. It was only me who built the project, who launched the project, and I was doing those things with zero budget and all by myself. So on this video I'm going to share with you how I managed to do that, how I launched this project with zero budget and zero investment. And also I'm going to give you a guide so that you can change your startup ideas into reality. Without further talking, let's dive into the tutorial. The first thing that you do when you start building your startup is finding the right idea. I mean, the phase one is finding the right idea. Every business and every startup begins with an idea, right? I mean, every successful business now you're seeing like Facebook, Instagram, either tech companies or products start with an idea. So how are you going to come up with a solid idea that's going to be scale up and that's going to generate revenue for your business? When we say idea, I mean, it depends on you. There are so many sectors that you can choose. You can choose your existing sector. I mean, if you are graduated in computer science, choosing the software sector or choosing the technology sector might be suitable for you. Or you might be in health sector and choosing the health sector, I mean, solving a problem in the health sector might be suitable for you. So picking the right idea depends on you. I mean, the sector you're choosing depends on you. You might be a doctor and start a technology startup, so it depends on you and it depends on your interests. So when we say an idea, there are two types of ideas when it comes to startup. There are solutions or there are ideas that are nice to have for the customer, and the other one is there are ideas which are must to have. Must to have ideas are basic things or necessity things for your customer or for your users. Let's say you're in food business. I mean, food is a necessary thing. Let's say you're producing oil. Let's say you're producing clothing. Let's say you're producing shelter or you are selling shelter houses. If you are on this sector, your project is must to have, or your products and services are must to have for the users or for the people. So basically, if your idea is must to have, so those basic things, food, shelter or clothing, it's going to be easier for you to sell those services. You just have to focus on the marketing and you just have to focus on delivering the right value for your customers. On the other side, there are ideas which are nice to have. When we say nice to have, it means that your idea or your service, your product is not necessary, it's just nice to have. Let's say if you're selling burger, it's still food, but it's not must to have for the users. It's nice to have. I mean, people can choose to not eat burgers, so it's nice to have. So first define which category is your idea. Is your idea nice to have or is your idea must to have for your users? First, you have to identify which category your idea falls in. Most of the time, if you ever take any courses or if you ever heard people talking about entrepreneurship and startup, they might say your idea has to solve an existing problem. You can also have a startup that doesn't solve any problem but still have a value. You can focus on solving a problem, but it doesn't necessarily have to solve any problem at all. Let's say if it's nice to have, it's not going to solve any problem, right? If you're selling burgers, you're not solving any problem. I mean, maybe if there is no burger house or if there is no restaurant on the location, but people go far away to have a burger and you open a closer restaurant for them, you're solving a problem. But selling burgers for people in general is not solving any problems. So your idea doesn't always have to solve any problem. Don't persuade yourself that your startup idea has to solve a problem. It can be just anything, but it still have to give value for your users. If it's a website, your website has to give a value for your customers so that you can make money out of it. And my advice in general for you in this section is always be looking for problems and always be looking for ideas. I mean, when someone came to you and tell you their problems, try to find a solution for that. The most important thing that I want you to catch from this section when you start generating an idea is don't lie to yourself. This is the hardest part most entrepreneurs face. I mean, if you keep lying to yourself that your idea is a global problem, and if you convince yourself that your problem is general problem, but if it is not, it's going to be a problem for you. Let's say your idea revolves in the financial technology sector. I mean, you came up with an idea that facilitates the payment problem. So if you don't make a research, or if you don't know the general problem and you keep lying to yourself that your idea is going to solve that problem, it's actually going to be a problem for you later on. I mean, when you launch the project, you might not get users for that because you keep lying to yourself that the problem exists, but it doesn't exist. So don't lie to yourself. When you came up with an idea, make sure that problem exists. Don't just create a problem. Make sure your problem exists, and make sure to have a solid foundation for that problem. I mean, your solution has to be a realistic solution. And also, you're gonna need to validate your idea. I mean, after you came up with that idea, you're gonna need to validate that idea. So how are you going to validate this idea? To validate your idea, you can use multiple options. Before you start doing your research, it's better for you to validate your idea first. I mean, you can just check existing startups. You can just check problems by asking people or something. After finding the right idea, I mean, after you're sure that your idea exists, after you validated your idea, and after you find a solution for that, the next step that you're going to take is planning and research on your project. You have to document everything, you have to do researches, have a solid foundation for your project before start building it, right? So the next phase that you are going to take is planning and research, doing a research and have a planning. Having a plan and doing a research for your project is going to benefit you on so many ways. Your project is going to be structured. Even before you start building your project, you might find other problems and other specific solutions that you haven't covered on the phase one, on the idea generating stage. You might even find other problems, and you might even find a better solution. When we say planning and research, let's go on those sections step by step. So when we say planning, have a lean plan for your project. When we say a lean plan, what are the milestones for your project? What are you going to do first? When are you going to build? When are you going to launch your project? What is the milestone after the project? Are you looking for investors? How are you going to look for investors? You're going to find every crucial steps for your project, and you're going to schedule those steps. Are you going to ask investors for money, or are you going to just bootstrap? I mean, when I say bootstrap, the project itself is going to cover its costs. So you have to plan this first before building anything. I mean, before writing any code, before going to investors, you have to have a solid foundation for your project. So to have a solid foundation for your project, it's better to have a plan first. When I say planning, there are so many multiple ways to do the planning. I mean, I'm going to share a link for a lean canvas model. It's called lean canvas, and it's just a table structure, and you're going to write down your solution, your problem, how are you going to deliver your service, what is your unique value comparing your project to other projects, what's your unfair advantage, those kinds of things. So you can use the table to have a plan, and also you can use the table to do your research. I mean, to find the characteristics, the unique characteristics your project and your startup has. So I'm going to share the link in the description. And there are so many multiple ways that you can do a plan. You can search for templates for startup plannings. There are so many templates that you can use. You can download those templates which are suitable for you, and you can edit, you can customize those plans and schedules. So you can make sure to have a solid plan for that. After you have a solid plan for your project, the most crucial part in your startup journey is doing the research. When we say research, it's the general word. There are so many things inside the word research, startup research. I mean, you're gonna do competitor analysis, you're gonna do a cost analysis. There are so many things you should consider while doing your research, but it depends on how fast are you willing to do the research. My advice for you is take as much as time in your research. I mean, that's the most crucial part. Your startup success and failure depends on the research, in my opinion. You might think the idea is generated by yourself, but when you go to the market, there might be 20 or 50 startups or companies that are operating the same startup. Let me give you an example. A year ago, my first startup was a school management system. It was a LMS, learning management system. I came up with that idea, providing schools with a software to manage their students, teachers, parents. It even have a attendance management. It even have a card printer, a result certificate printer, so many features. I came up with the idea. I mean, I don't know anything about researches, I don't know anything about planning. I just came up with the idea and I started building the project. After I have done building the project, I went to schools. Local banks here in Ethiopia were already selling softwares for schools. They were giving the softwares for free and have an agreement with the school to pass its students' payments through the bank. So when I go to the schools, I couldn't compete with the local banks here. Even they were providing loans for the schools. They were covering payments for the parents, so I couldn't compete with the banks here, so I immediately dropped the project. It was frustrating. That's why I'm telling you this. After spending this much time and this much energy, seeing your project fail is frustrating. So even before starting writing any line of code or any specific task, just do the research first. In my case, if I've done the competitor analysis first, I mean, if I've done research, I might not build the project in the first place. I could have saved the time, I could have saved my energy, I could have saved the money I spent on it. So when I say the research, I mean, there are multiple things that you should consider. The first one is competitor analysis. So when I say competitor analysis, it's just doing the research about, are there any existing companies and existing startups that are working on the same idea? I mean, if your idea is a food delivery system, are there any food delivery systems in the country, in the city? How many are there? What are their unique values? I mean, what's the uniqueness of their project? What are customers liking from them? How are they operating? Gather information as much as you can. It's very crucial for your project. I mean, you might find a specific problem on this way. Let's say you're building a food delivery startup and the main one in Ethiopia now, in Addis Ababa now, is bio delivery, right? So ask customers what's the specific problem they face when ordering using bio delivery. What are they liking from the app? What are they preferring from the project? Ask those kinds of things, and when you gather those kinds of information, it helps you to build a better platform. I mean, a better solution. They might tell you the problem they are facing when they order. Maybe it's a delay in time, a delay in delivery or something. So this gives you the opportunity to have a better platform and have a better startup. So make sure to do a competitor analysis on the research. So after that, you're gonna need a cost analysis research. I mean, if this video is about building your startup with zero budget, right? I mean, to be honest with you, there is no zero at all. I mean, even if you say zero budget, it's because you don't invest any money on the project. You don't spend any penny on the project, on the actual project, not on yourself. I mean, you might need to do the research in person. So when you go to customers and when you go to companies, you might pay for the transport, you might pay for something, but there are tiny costs that you might have while building the project or while doing the research. So when we say zero budget, it's about, we are saying for the project. I mean, you're not investing any money on the project. So make sure to do a cost analysis research. If you are going to look for investors, they need a solid foundation for your costs, right? So what are you going to buy? Are you going to set up an office, a call center? Are you going to hire employees? So how much are you willing to pay for them? You have to do this cost analysis first before going to investors. This one is if you decided to collaborate with investors. There's no specific thing that you have to do on your research, but it depends on what kind of information are you looking for. I mean, if you're looking for a competitor, it's better to focus on the competitors when you do the research. If you're looking for investors, it's better for you to focus on the cost when you do the research. It depends on you, but there are multiple ways that you can do these researches. I mean, if you do a competitor analysis, it's better if you do an interview. It's better for you to go to customers directly or companies directly and interview them. In my case, there was a actually it's not an active startup. I mean, I couldn't say it has failed, but there was a startup which me and my friend started. It was a construction material rental platform. So we used to go to construction stores and ask questions. We used to have a form, a paper form with questions. We used to go to construction rental stores and ask them to fill out the form for us. So you can use those kinds of strategies. And also, if your startup is a platform or a website or an online service, you can just have a Google form and share that form in the Telegram groups, Facebook groups. You can use social media for this, asking people to fill out the information. For the second project that has failed, it was a digital payment card service. It is a failed startup. It was my startup. It was mine and my family's startup. For the research part, I used to have a Google form, and I used to have a fake account with a girl profile picture and a girl name, and I used to ask people to fill out the form for me and send them the link. So I'm not suggesting that you should use these kinds of strategies, but it worked for me. So you can use this one. But yeah, in general, you can ask people to participate in your forms, in your questions. I mean, if your platform is for students, join student groups, join university groups, and ask people to fill out the form, so it's easier for you. After you do the planning and the research, the next phase is actually building the project. This phase is the most engaging and fun part of your startup journey as an entrepreneur. Actually, building the projects takes time. I mean, it depends on the idea that you have. It might take a month, maybe 15 days, maybe a year or something. After you came up with the idea, after you validate the idea, and after you do the planning and research, actually building the project is going to be engaging for you. Let's dive deeper on how are you going to build your project. So if your project is a website or a platform, you might need a programmer, or you might need a no-code tools, or you might need to build your platform by yourself. So how are you going to do that? There are multiple options that you can build your platform, your website, or your mobile application. You might find a co-founder for your project. I mean, you might give equity for that idea. You can try to find a developer or a software engineer to build the platform for you while taking an equity on your project. I have used this option for my previous startups. You can ask for other entrepreneurs or you can ask for developers or software engineers to participate on the development part while taking an equity. And also you can check for investors. I mean, if you're looking for investors, I mean, if it is an option for you, you can hire a software engineer, or you can hire a developer to build the platform for you. And if there's no investment, I mean, we are talking about with zero budget. So if there's no budget at all, you can look for another software engineer or a developer to take an equity and develop a platform for you. You can use this option, but there are also other options that you can take. The first one is you can build the platform by yourself. I mean, if it's a website, it's easier. If it's a mobile application, it might take more time and more effort. Even building the platform by yourself has two options. I mean, there are no-code tools to build your platform. There are online websites that can help you building your platform with just a prompt. There are free websites like Doric.io, and there are so many websites. I'm going to drop the link for those websites on the description section. You can use no-code tools like Doric.io. You can just give a prompt, what kind of website are you looking for, and what kind of features that your platform has. You can just give a prompt and you can have your website. And also, if you choose if your website is, or if your platform is more complicated, if it might need a database, it might need a backend, and it might need some integrated tools too. So if your website or if your platform is more complicated, it's better to code your website by yourself. If you need me to make another video on how you can learn to program, basic programming, I'm going to make another video on that. Nowadays it's easier to program. I mean, you don't need to know everything. I mean, building this platform interestingly, it's been only a year since I've started programming, but I managed to build a video chat application with just a year experience. If you know the basics, how a programming works, how the code flow works, it's easier for you. You can just use ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a sign up page, a login page. You can just ask ChatGPT or other large language models, AI models, and they can give you the website that you needed. But the crucial part here is if you ask ChatGPT and if it gives you a code and you understand the code, you're done. You don't need to write every single line of code by yourself. You can just ask ChatGPT. If you can understand the code, you're done. And on the no-code tools, you can use Bubble, Glide, Tally. There are excellent ways to build your website. You can use online templates. They have free templates for your website. You can choose templates and you can customize the website that you want. I'm also going to make another video on free tools that you can use for your startup, so you can use those websites. And the most crucial part that I want you to understand when building your project is you have to build an MVP first. When I say MVP, it's an abbreviation for minimum viable product. I mean, if you have a food delivery platform, just don't build everything at first. I mean, just build the minimum functional platform and you can scale later while having a feedback. In my case, interestingly, the social networking platform that I've mentioned earlier, it's a networking platform for people. It has a group chat functionalities, it has virtual events, it has a voice rooms, a group chat functionalities, but now it's just a random video chat platform. So it's basically in its MVP stage. So don't just build everything at first. I mean, if you build the minimum functional values that your platform can serve, it's easier for you. I mean, if you saw the LinkedIn posts of my account, even first, interestingly, just have two boxes. There wasn't any chat functionalities, there wasn't any video and audio mute functionalities. We have a feedback section on the platform on the homepage. We ask users to give us feedback and we try our best to iterate the platform to add those feedbacks on the platform. So the chat functionality was suggested from more than 5 users and we added the chat feature. The mute functionality was suggested from more than 8 or 9 users and we added that functionality. So try to implement this kinds of workflow on your projects. Just build the minimum thing, the minimum functional platform, and you can iterate later. If you choose to learn programming and if you choose to build your project by coding, it's easier. You don't have to pay for any courses. You don't have to register or sign up to any bootcamp. You can just do it using YouTube. You can search a 1 hour or 2 hour introduction course. You can take that and you can learn by building the minimum project. So after you build the project, the next phase will be launching your project. You have built the project, you have a minimum viable product, an MVP website or a product. If it's a website, after you build the website. If it's a mobile application, after you build the mobile application, you're gonna launch your project. So how are you going to launch your project? We're gonna dig deeper on this section too. So to launch your project, you can look for partnership, you can look for startup and other companies that can help you boost your launch, that can build the hype before the launch. I mean, if you're doing this by yourself, I mean, if you have a team, it's easier for you. You can give each other tasks. One member can work on the marketing, one member can work on the production, one member can work on the development part. If you have a team, it's easier for you. But if you are a solopreneur and you're doing this by all yourself, it's harder. So how are you going to look for partnership? The way it worked for me, it was I'm always looking for people. I mean, I'm always writing people on LinkedIn. I'm always texting people on LinkedIn. I always going to networking events. Try to meet new people as much as possible, not only when building a project or when building something. Anytime, if there's an event, a networking event, or if there's a panel discussion on tech or something, go to those kinds of events and try to meet new people. I have met a few people while I was at networking events, and I asked those people how I can have a launch. If you saw the launch event of the project, interesting, it was at Creative Hub. Even the launch event has sponsors. Video production was covered by a sponsorship. They are called Trident Creatives. They sponsored the event. I haven't paid for the event hall. For the hall, I haven't paid any penny. The way it worked for me was I have met a person which works in Creative Hub. They give courses, they help startups, they help entrepreneurs grow. I went there and I pitched the project. They have a membership, a yearly membership to access their working space. But even when I went there, it was closed. It was not open. But I went to the office and I showed them the project. Still then it was not launched. It wasn't online. I used the local server, my laptop, to showcase the platform. I opened the platform and pitched to them how it's going to work, how it's going to network people, how many sections it has, and they were interested on the project. They were intrigued when they saw the project. They were interested. Immediately they gave me access for the hub. We agreed to have a strategic partnership. They're going to provide me with the resources they have. I'm also going to provide them with the resources I have. I'm going to advertise their services, their brand. We agreed on those terms, and they gave me the access. So you can also check for strategic partnership with other projects. If you work on something, try to find another startup or another company which can help you with a specific thing. If you're launching your platform or if you're launching your project and you need a event hall, go to event organizers and ask for partnership. You will mention them as a brand partner, and they're gonna provide you with the resources that you need. You can do this to access resources from other companies. You don't have to pay for a hall rental or something. So you can do those kinds of strategies. That's the way it worked for me. And also you can ask for sponsorships. You might decide to have a launch event or not. If you don't decide to have a launch event, it's going to be okay. Try to partner up with other marketing companies and other marketing firms. You can do that also if you don't have a launch event. But if you have a launch event, ask for sponsorships. Ask a sponsorship for catering services, for them to provide some cakes and foods on the event. It got rejected. I asked two companies for the video production. Trident Creatives accepted the sponsorship, and also I asked other financial companies to cover some server costs. For the platform to be online, it has a 3 months payment, a server payment, VPS. So I also asked financial companies for that. It also got rejected. So you can ask for sponsorships to cover your costs, to cover your resources, to find the resources you need for your event or launch event. So you can use those kinds of strategies for your launch event. And as I mentioned before, if you decide to not have a launch event, it's still okay. You can focus on marketing your service and marketing your product. That's the most crucial part. If you got 5 users after the launch, it's going to be frustrating for you. You might even have 0 users, right? So to avoid that, you can focus on the marketing instead of focusing on the launch event. But that's the magic part. The launch event is part of the marketing part. Building the hype, advertising about the launch event is also part of the marketing. And now Interestly has more than 500 users since it's launched. It's a huge milestone for us. It's because the launch event was marketed well. We advertised the launch event months earlier. We talked about how it's going to be launched, the features it's going to have. I have also made a video here on YouTube. Make sure to check the partnership video. So on the partnership signing video, I mentioned when the launch is going to happen, and I mentioned when it's going to be, where it's going to be. So it was also the part of the market. The launch event is also part of the marketing. So I recommend you to have a launch event. If you don't have any money, don't shy away. It's still possible. I don't invest any money, but still manage to have that amazing launch event. So you can do that also. After you launch your project, I mean, after you have a launch event or after you have the initial launch of your project, it doesn't mean that your project is successful, right? You have to market it, you have to find as much as users as possible, you have to make money out of it. So how can you do that? I mean, interestingly, as I mentioned before, it has more than 500 users registered. We are constantly increasing our users and we are adding more features. So how are you going to manage that? We are going to talk about that also. So after you launch your event, I mentioned this earlier, it's an MVP, right? You are going to launch a minimum viable product. So you're going to need a serious steps of iterations. I mean, you're going to iterate your platform. Now, Interestly is a random video chat platform, right? We have only 4 sections. You pick 4 sections and you're going to get matched, right? But now we are adding more features. When I built the project, the front end took only 2 days. I have spent more time on the back end part because that's the most crucial part on this kind of project. The front end only took 1 day or 2 days. Now the project have more than 5 contributors. So we are iterating, we are enhancing the UI, the interface that you see on the platform. We are adding more features. Now we have added a netstat coin functionality. When you get connected with some user, they can raise your net status. It's netstat, the abbreviation for network status. They can raise, and later we are gonna have our rewards based on your net status. So now we added those kinds of features. It's if you saw the launch event video, participant there recommended if it is a coin based system, right? So even we use the launch event to gather a feedback, and now we are adding those feedbacks on the platform. And on the next iteration, we are also adding a gamified feature. You might have even checked the platform and you might not have connected with anyone yet. I mean, if there is no user on the platform, you are not connected with anyone, right? We are also adding a gamified feature until you get connected. I mean, you can play games until you find a match. So this is another feature we are adding. This version is going to be updated sooner, maybe a week later. We have also added a links functionality. You don't have to ask the connected person for their social media links. You can just click the button and you can get their social media links if they added it. And we have also a profile section. You can update your profile, your username, your full name. So you can also add a social media links for your profile so that other users that you get connected with can see your profiles. So we have added those kinds of functionalities, and make sure to, the point that I'm going to is make sure to, after you launch a project, make sure to have a series of iterations. Ask for feedbacks continuously. Have a feedback section on your platform if you can. I mean, if you are willing to add that, add a feedback section on your platform and gather feedbacks and check those feedbacks. If the feedbacks are more repeated, I mean, if a feedback is mentioned with more than 3 users, make sure to add those kinds of functionalities on your platform. I mean, if so many people mention those kinds of features, it means it's crucial for your platform, right? So make sure to add that. And also users might mention some bugs and some errors to fix. On the case of Interestly, the sign up page was not responsive. Responsiveness issue was the most mentioned issue on the platform. So we have fixed that also. You can also use the feedback section to find some potential errors on your platform, and also if it is a product also, you can also do that. Ask your customers to give you feedback. You can also call them and ask for how was your service or how was your product. You can also use so many types of feedback gathering methods, so make sure to do that. After your launch, the most crucial part is growth, right? So how are you going to grow is going to be the harder part after your launch. I mean, your failure and your success is going to be determined on your growth. So how are you going to grow? To grow, you need a strong social media presence. Whether if it's a service or a product, you're going to need to grow your platform or service. To do that, you're going to need a strong social media presence. When we say strong social media presence, you can use TikTok, you can use Instagram, you can use Facebook. Most of Ethiopians now use Facebook, Instagram, and those kinds of social medias, right? You can also use LinkedIn. If you have an investment, you can boost your services. You can have a campaign, advertisement campaigns. You can boost using Facebook, Instagram, also LinkedIn. But if you don't have a budget, if you are using zero budget, you can also still market your services and products. I mean, you can ask people to post about your service. You can ask LinkedIn members to repost your posts, and the most crucial part is make sure to engage users on social media platforms. When I say engage users, ask for their opinion. I mean, if you saw my LinkedIn account, I always post what's new on the platform, what we are adding, what we have faced, starting from the launch. I mean, before the launch, we have a series tests. We have 3 or 5 beta tests. I have also shared those testing phases on LinkedIn, on YouTube. You can see the last testing before the launch. I have also posted that on YouTube. It got more than 4,000 views. That also helped me to build the hype before the launch. So make sure to share your journey with the people. I mean, that's the point of, I don't know if you got it yet, but that's the point of me posting those kinds of videos, my journey. It's because I need to market my platforms. I need to show people that those platforms exist, right? So this is the way I market my brand and my personal project. So make sure to showcase your project, make sure to show your journey with others, and also make sure to have a social media pages. You can have a LinkedIn page for your project, and also can share the growth in the iterations that your platform and services have on your social accounts, your personal LinkedIn account, and also you can have a page, a LinkedIn page, a Facebook page. Make sure to have that. What I'm saying is make sure to have a strong social media presence. That way you can be discovered. Now, as I mentioned before, Interestly now have more than 500 users. Those 500 users came from social media, right? I mean, if you have an account on Interestly and if you're using Interestly, it's because you saw the video on YouTube, the launch event on YouTube, or if you saw the advertisements on LinkedIn that I've shared, or on Facebook, right? So basically, how your growth is going to be dependent on your social media presence. I mean, other people have to discover you, that other people have to know that you exist, your platform exists, and your service exists. So make sure to do that. Make sure to be visible for users. Make sure to be visible for partners. Your visibility also, your visibility helps us only not in the marketing part. It also helps us to be discovered in investors. I even got approached by 2 investors without me looking for investors. So your social media presence helps you also on the financial part, also helps you on the branding part. So not only for finding customers, but finding partners, or finding other businesses to sell with, to partner with. So it also helps you with those kinds of things. So make sure to be visible on social medias. Now let me share with you the key lessons I learned while launching this startup with zero budget. The first crucial thing that I've learned from this startup is your network is your net worth. It's true, by the way, your network is your net worth. The opportunities I've got until now, the successful launch, everything that I've done is because I've networked with people. So my advice for you is try to meet new people as much as possible. Go out from your box. Go to events. Even that's why I built Interestly. It's because networking is crucial, right? Also, you can also use Interestly to network with people. If you're interested in business, go to the business section. I mean, I know it's frustrating to still wait for users if there are no users waiting. I mean, it's boring to wait for users to join, but we are working on that. But try to use Interestly. I mean, it's crucial for networking, so you can also meet another people on the platform. We're gonna have a group chat and virtual event section later, so when those kinds of features are added, I think it's going to be easier for people to network with. Besides that, go to events, networking events, panel discussions. I mean, it doesn't have to be just a networking event. It can be any event which resonates with your interest. I mean, if you're interested in business, even you can go to real estate events or something that have a people gathering. So go to there and meet people. Ask their names, ask what they do, ask what they're interested in, and change contacts, and you can network later. I mean, most of the opportunities that I've got and not most, actually all of the opportunities I've got until now are because I've networked with people. The opportunities I've got are from the people that I've networked with. So make sure to expand your network. Don't just restrict yourself with a specific thing. I mean, if you're a developer or a programmer only, don't just communicate with developers, communicate with entrepreneurs, communicate with investors, communicate with other people. So try to expand your network. That way you can have more opportunities, more possibilities for your project. That's way it's going to be easier for you to find new possibilities and new opportunities. And the other thing that I want you to understand is building with zero budget is possible. By the way, it's possible. After the launch event video was posted on YouTube, people were writing to me on Telegram, how am I going to launch this event? How am I going to do this? I have no investors. How you manage to do that? That's why I'm making this video. You can do it. By the way, you can do it. Even if you have no skill, no money, you can evolve. I mean, you can teach yourself how to program. You can teach yourself how to build your desired startups, your desired project. You can learn and you can do it. So that's the advice for you. Don't wait for the right time. I mean, it's better to just start instead of just perfecting your project and perfecting your idea. It's better to just draw a pencil sketch or something, and name something, give it a name, and just start it. Start the idea. I mean, as I mentioned before, build the MVP and try to iterate it. When I started building Interestly, there was so much negativity from the people. Even I got rejected from 2 competitions. I mean, I submitted the idea mentioning that it was on idea stage, and they thought that it's not possible to build a video chat platform here in Ethiopia. So don't hear to those kinds of people. I mean, don't give space for negativity. Just build your project, trust in yourself, and be out there. That's my advice for you. Just start. Don't wait the right time. Don't perfect yourself. Just start now. Just start today and try to grow your platform, grow your service, grow your product. If you saw the video this far, that means you are willing to start today. So make sure to just start now after this video. Just make sure to validate your idea, start doing the research, and just launch your project. Just start today. If this video was helpful, make sure to share this video for others. Make sure to like the video. And if you're new to the channel, also make sure to subscribe to the channel. Later I'm also going to make another videos that will help you start your idea, generate your idea, validate your idea, and also do the researches. I'm also going to share everything on my journey. If there are any specific videos that you want me to make, feel free to write on the comment section. I will be gladly making those videos for you. So make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.